All right, so this is my bulk overflow graded card case. Basically cards that fall outside the top 240 in my collection. I'm just gonna go through and pick random cards out of here, talk about them a little bit, and then also just talk about some recent events, some upcoming channel stuff, things of that nature. So I think I'll just turn the camera around and stay tuned for that. Hey now, we are back. We are back. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through some, oh, hey, before you do anything, make sure you drop your nutsack on that like button and connect with me on Instagram, because if you like redundancy in your life, you can see the same shit over there that you see here sometimes. So let's get that out of the way. All right, so I'm just gonna grab some at random. They're kind of in, start 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start with some of the older ones here. And if I pull a card and put it back, it's because I just pulled 2 Thurman Munson cards, so you don't want to see those. I just showed those. All right, what I have here, I got this, and this is a card that I bought because I just like the card. It's not a rookie, it's a second-year card. It's Jim Palmer, PSA 7.5. And yeah, I was on a little bit of a, somewhat of a 67 kick, because I think I bought this and the Pete Rose around about the same time a few years ago. It's just a great looking card. I don't have his rookie card. It's not really on my want list, but I think this one might be, I just like the way that one looks, that Jim Palmer. So I had to go to Vegas for a meeting last week, and it's the first time I've had to do this meeting in 4 years. Flying out of Kennedy. And man, what a disaster Kennedy Airport is. Construction, 2 garages are closed. I had to park at Terminal 8, take the tram to Terminal 5, JetBlue. And so, you know, I get there, and of course it's delayed. Everything's delayed out of New York City. And it was you got people waiting to leave at the gate for their late plane, and people arriving for the next plane, and the gate next. I mean, it was like a freaking refugee camp from a migrant border crossing. It just people on top of people, like 5 people for every square foot. It was awful. And then on top of that, my flight gets canceled. I had a 5:30 p.m. out of Kennedy to Vegas. So let's grab another card here. I did a lot of buying through 4 Sharp Corners a few years ago, a lot. And it was a lot of this kind of stuff, 80s favorites and high grade. So here's a 87 Donruss Rookies Bo Jackson. And I may like this card better than the base Donruss set. Maybe just the color combination appeals to me more, but oops. Bo Jackson. And so the flight's canceled, and I immediately go to the counter and say, okay, let's rebook this flight. And they, well, we can't rebook a canceled flight. You got to wait till you're reassigned a new flight. I'm like, great. So I call my manager and say, look, I'm not going to make it out there. So I missed an internal meeting, which wasn't a big deal. The Friday meeting was more important. So he's like, don't worry about it. Just get here when you can. Get here for Friday. And they rebooked me on a flight to LAX. To leave 9:30 out of Kennedy that night, to arrive at like 12:30 a.m. LA time, and then a flight to Vegas at 10:05 that morning. So basically go to LAX and hang out there on it. And I'm like, screw that noise. So I said, look, just book me on the exact same flight tomorrow, and that's fine. And so we did that, and got to Vegas at by the time I got to the hotel room, it was like 8:45 Vegas time, which is 8:45 midnight. So I'm exhausted. I didn't even leave the hotel from the time I was there, basically. So got to the meeting. That was fine. And then, yeah, the flight home was a different story. Here's part of my Nolan Ryan run that I assembled a few years ago. This is the 88 Topps Tiffany. Because 88 Topps are so cheap, I targeted the Tiffany versions because, they had a little more weight to them. And You know, this wasn't all that expensive either. I think it was in like the $40, $50 range when I bought this. 2018-ish maybe. But now I know they've gone up quite a bit, the Tiffany cards, even from the late 80s there. So, so the meeting was whatever. It was a waste of time in my opinion, but you got to do it. And flight home on Saturday. I get to McCarran, or LA, Las Vegas International, whatever they call it now. And the flight's delayed. Because the flight out of New York is late, so we're going to be late. And we get on the plane, it's a full flight, and they make an announcement. We're sitting there forever. Oh, sorry, there's a weight balancing issue. We might have to ask people to leave the plane, remove some, whatever. It's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. They ended up removing cargo from the plane, and he said, we did our calculations, and we're ready to go. And I'm thinking, this is great. You know, I'm not a big fan of flying in general, so of course, you know, my morbid thought process is wonderful. We're going to take off. What, this weight imbalance? We're going to flip the plane and crash into the side of the mountain, you know? But that didn't happen. And so we get up, and things are fine. I mean, I don't know why the captain left the seatbelt sign on, because it was pretty smooth. And I actually watched that Reggie Jackson documentary on Amazon Prime. It ran about an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. And so that got me to Iowa. And that's where shit started to get real. Let me grab another card here. 2010 Bowman Chrome. You know, I don't do stuff like this anymore. I've changed my collecting habits, but this was a, I guess, I don't know why I bought that. I guess Machado, I wanted to have a rookie card of Manny Machado, so I chose this one. And I want to say it was under $100. It's just a regular refractor. I don't believe it's numbered. It's not. Manny Machado. So the turbulence starts to kick in. Now, I know turbulence is pretty much harmless. It's not comfortable. You know, if your seat buckled, that's the big thing. Make sure you don't go fly into the roof of the cabin or the ceiling of the cabin and knock yourself unconscious. But it was pretty bad. And, you know, we're bouncing and juking and jiving. It was like chitty chitty bang bang, basically from Iowa to New Jersey airspace. And what pissed me off is the captain didn't even come online and say anything about, you know, oh, this is for another 10 minutes and we're going to clear this, that. He didn't say. He finally did come on and said, well, sorry about the bumps, but this is what's going on at multiple altitudes. And so, you know, whatever. Hey, by the way, 55 degrees and partly cloudy. And Kennedy, thanks for flying. And like, what? So we still have like 2 hours left on the flight. And it was awful. By the way, the Reggie Jackson documentary was okay. I didn't think it was that great. It was okay. It passed the time. I'll grab another card here. This was pack pulled from the Collectible Card Club a few years ago. Probably one of the, I think this one and the 89 Upper Deck Griffey Jr. rookie that came back in 8. 81 Topps Henderson came back in 9. So not bad. So I said the turbulence was pretty bad. I had, oh my God, behind me were two women who looked like they might have been Lizzo's sisters, if you know what I'm saying, right? And they're sitting there and they're going, oh, oh, oh. And you know what? It's already uncomfortable enough to have to deal with the plane bouncing and flapping in the breeze, to have this going on. And I swear to God, I felt like at one point I wanted to get up and just say, will you two just shut the fuck up? Jesus Christ. It was that bad. And people were looking at him like, WTF, man, you know? So there's that. And so we had to deal with that. And then, you know, we get to New Jersey, or New York airspace, and it did start to settle down a little bit. But the flight was probably the worst flight I've been on in my flying history as far as turbulence goes. Now, again, I know it's, you know, I have a friend that designs planes for Boeing, and I know these planes are actually, you know, the wings could flap like a bird. They can handle way worse stress than whatever bad turbulence you might encounter up in the air. So But all the same, it's still not something you really enjoy. You know, you don't go through that and say, hey, that was fun. One of Aaron Judge's many rookie cards, and I made an Instagram post about this because this is from Throwback Thursday. You know, what Topps did here is they try to make it look like the Mantle card from 61 Topps, very similar. Aaron Judge. And they also did that with the 56 Topps design. It looks very similar to Mantle. So I get back home and, you know, it's late. And like I said, I went out there. I didn't even leave the hotel. I played, in between meetings on Friday, I played slots. That's what I do. I play Wheel of Fortune. I put in a $20 bill. I ran it up to $100. And then I lost half. Took the ticket, and then after the meeting, went back and blew the rest of the ticket. So there's $20 worth of entertainment. Next day at the airport, I played again, and this time I spun the wheel. I got the Wheel of Fortune thing, and I cashed out at 117. So I put a 20 in the night before, and then I put in 2 20s on this machine. So 3 20s less than. I walked away with $57 up. That's fine. I mean, I'm not a gambler. I don't, you know, at least casino gambling, that type of thing. I guess maybe sports cards gambling. I don't know if you want to call it that. But so that was the highlight of the Vegas trip. I won $57. Let's look at another card here. Oh boy, this was the subject of a video. I think it was Buy the Card, Not the Grade, and this was clearly, you know, early on in my PSA slab buying career, I really didn't pay attention to things like centering, apparently. That's really poorly centered. It's a 7. In fact, this is probably a PSA 9 OC. If this were, that's how I feel about this card. Whitey Ford, 64 Topps. And he's the pitching coach, or pitcher and coach. He had sort of a dual role later in his career. What's coming up on the channel? I unexpectedly have another episode of Friday Night Vintage that I'm going to roll out within the next couple of weeks because I acquired a card I've been looking for a very long time. And yeah, so that'll probably be no sooner than next week, maybe the week after. And then I'm talking to you know, Joe and I, Silvercheck, if I haven't done a stream in a while. We're just busy. In fact, Adam at Splendid Sports wants to do something as well. His idea is a little bit redundant, but that's okay. It's not 100% redundant. But I'm going to do that. I got to follow up with him at some point. But we're looking to have some pretty big guests on the next one. A couple guys that I think a lot of you know are familiar with. So we're going to try to pull something together, but don't ask me when. You know, I guess the best time I can give you is within the next 6 months. So we'll see what we can do. That should be pretty fun. And I think the subject of that one is going to be our top 5 favorite cards that are not in our top 100. So that's a good idea. That way you just avoid seeing like the same shit over and over again. You know, the 52 Mantle and the Ruth and the Cap Anson and you know, all those cards that you see in our yearly video countdowns. And so I don't know. I think I might get with Adam first and do like the 3 and 3, and then with Joe and then 2 other guys that we're kind of talking to, try to do something with them as well. So let's look at another card here. What do we got? Oh, you know, so I did the Ryan run and I endeavored to do Rickey Henderson's run, and then I realized so my criteria was PSA 10s. And then it just got to where some of his later years in PSA 10 were like really expensive. This one wasn't. I stopped at, this is 96. I think I stopped at 99. Just a 96 Topps base card of Rickey Henderson and a PSA 10. That's a cool photo right there. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover. Just flying is a real pain in the ass. I would hate to have to connect and have to do something important. It's so disruptive. Just to cancel the flight, you know. So here's a card that was part of a, again, I get these little veins I have of collecting, and I several years ago I wanted to collect Reggie Jackson cards, but in the Yankees uniform, and so this is the 81 Topps. And so that little run of mine includes the 77 Topps and also the Burger King, because it's a different image than the 77 base card, up to 82 Topps. The subsequent Burger King cards are the same as the regular Topps issue, so they didn't interest me because of that. It wasn't different. I used to like this guy, and now I think he's cuckoo. I don't know why I bought this. It's Rudy Giuliani, autographed Topps Heritage Archives fan favorites, but this is this is signed in person. This is not like a Topps pack pulled autograph, but I just thought it was a cool card as part of my Yankees on-card autograph collection. Big fan of Giuliani back when he cleaned up New York City many years ago, but you know, the last several years I just think he's just a crazy old man, for what it's worth. Look at something a little more recent. What do we got here? Oh, this is gonna be what's this one here? Oh, so I did a did I do all? I don't think I have I did 2 of these runs. This is 2020 Topps Silver Pack. I did this in 2020 and also 2019. 2019 I have all the color refractors minus the superfractor. For this, I don't know if I have the red. Do I have the red refractor? I don't think I do. Let me look. I don't remember. I don't think I do. So for this particular year, I'm missing the red and the super, right? Yeah, I'm missing the red and the super. But these are fun to put together. Like the 85 Topps design. Right there. What else can we look at in this King Kong case? Yeah, another one of my favorite cards. You know, I used to see this image in the Beckett magazine back in the 80s, and I was like, wow, man, how do you find this card? I mean, not like today, you can buy on eBay any number of copies of this. It's the 84 Flair Update Dwight Gooden. This was a huge card. This is not a PSA 9. It's off-centered. Again, I just didn't pay attention. I was buying the grade. It's off-center. Yeah, I guess it still falls within 9 standards. Dwight Gooden. I love Dwight Gooden. Him and Don Mattingly, my 2 favorite players growing up. This was just a purchase just because, again, I like the card. Not a Hall of Famer. Maybe he will be eventually. It's up for debate. Steve Garvey, 75 Topps in PSA 9. When PSA 9 75 Topps weren't that out of reach. Now they're super expensive. And I bought this a long time ago. I want to say like 5 years ago. I keep showing the same stuff. All right, last one. Bryce Harper rookie card. I have both purple refractors. This is the Bowman Chrome Prospects. But he also has is it right next to it? Yeah, it's gonna be right next. So I'll just show both of them. I got these 2 here. Both in a PSA 10. Non-auto. The numbering is kind of weird. They changed the numbering in later years. These purples, this one's numbered to 700. Nowadays, purples are what? Numbered to 250. And this one is numbered to 799. This is numbered to 799. This one's numbered to 700. So certainly isn't a rare card. But yeah, he's on the DL, right? But I think this guy, I think this guy is a lock for the Hall of Fame. It's my bold prediction for Bryce Harper. So anyway, that'll do it. That's all I got for right now. So you'll next be hearing from me. Friday Night Vintage, a long sought-after card, and I finally scored one. And I'll tell that story in the next within the next couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you then.